PT season 9, week 6. Week 6. I think it's week 6. There's a lot of weeks. 9 weeks per season. That's crazy. I am joined today by a lot of familiar faces and one less familiar face. But hello, James, Sataniel, Mr. Satan. There we go.
Yeah.
We agree to Mr. Satan.
All of the above. It's all good.
All right. Nice to see you again. And then hello, Rito Burrito. We've missed you the last week or two, maybe.
Hello. It's good to be back. It's been a while.
All right. Nice to see you, Walker. And then Cole Damley, Coco the Dragon, my co-caster. What's up?
Too busy wizarding right now, man. I don't know. TLDR.
Unbelievable. I've replaced you with Vid the Mid for next week. But you'll always hold a space in my heart. And then finally, Adam Karabou, our special guest. Hello.
Thanks for having me, Brian. I'm so happy to be here.
All right. Well, you're even happier because we have you here after a dub. So we're going to hop right into the match recap. And if you don't mind, let's just start with that dub. Fuck it. We'll go out of order. PO versus THD. We saw THD take home the W. This one's a fun one because we have one from each team. So instead of going to Karabou first, let's talk about Walker and how depressed he is now.
You know, I was pretty depressed.
No, but you played ADC, so I actually don't believe you.
Yeah, that was fun. Like playing ADC.
Right. So you're not depressed. All right, Adam, how happy are you that you took home the W and kicked the shit out of Walker in the process?
I'm ecstatic, man. We dropped like 3 games in a row to start the season, and that was not super fun. Winning, more fun than losing. So
nice.
Feels like things are starting to click, and that's always fun.
Great. I would say I don't know what losing 3 games in a row feels like, but unfortunately I do. All right, moving on to the next game. Let's talk about AR versus EXO. We have a clip for that. Can we roll it? Let's roll it.
Yes.
I'm paying Elena minimum wage for this. All right, go. Coco.
Yeah, so I'll set this up right now. As you can see, all of the gameplay is going to be looking at the minimap here because you can see already bottom lane health bars aren't really in a good spot right now, but you saw that we had the Vigar get the mid lane prio. We're setting up to sort of disengage out, but then you see we're on a repeat. You know why? Because the broadcast cut off. And the reason why we lost that game was because the broadcast brain that we all have, because our shot caller is a goddamn on-air commentator, #retired, means that we can't think anymore. So all of us go AFK, and then you pop the stream back up, and their bot lane is 4-2, and they immediately win the game from there. So honestly, it's kind of a broadcast diff at this point. And, hats off for EXO for being able to find the Ethernet plug and pull it.
Yep, sometimes we call that the act of God clause. And generally, after an act of God happens, EXO tends to win. So
very true.
Makes sense. This is the first season I've ever said that, by the way. So we'll see if I keep saying that.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, they played the Caitlyn and Lux bot lane very, very well in the early stages, and we did not respect it. And from that point, one of our strong win conditions was having a stabilized bottom lane so we could get into a good place to 4-1. But unfortunately, they were able to defuse that pretty quick. So good job on them, and I'm hopefully seeing if they can do it again this time against MBB this week.
All right. Speaking of MBB, they beat TSC. And I think what some people consider an upset, but here they are at 2-3, something like that. After 5 weeks of games, can we talk about MBB? James, you're on the docket for this. How did that game go, MBB versus TSC?
Charlie went bot 3 times before 8.5 minutes on a Zootier. They got 2 kills. They killed both bot laners each time. Anne-Marie had 7 kills and an assist by 8.5 minutes on the new Sexy Sivir skin, which I believe we have featured here to show everybody on the live stream. But outside of that, that pretty much signed, sealed, delivered the game. They had a massive gold lead by 10-12 minutes because of those gank spot, and that was all she wrote.
All right, MVB on their way up. Unfortunately, Anne-Marie is going to be subbed out for next game. She's in Germany, I think. So, Guten Tag. But I think Skyhawk.
Playing?
They're playing EXO, I believe.
Man, can't believe EXO bought them tickets to Germany.
Wow, that's
just
crazy.
To get them out.
Dude, we were just talking about this. This is the God complex. Literally, God came in and got them plane tickets.
Oh no!
Can't play on that EU ping, bro.
Yeah, speaking of God, Skyhawk is subbing in for Anne Marie,
Oh,
former BTL champion, reigning BTL champion Skyhawk. So hopefully he can continue his hot streak because I guess he hasn't lost in a bit then in a BTL match. So we'll see if he can continue
Man's
that
coming in
against
off with the victory.
TSC.
This.
Right. All right. And then
Silver sexy. Look at that gameplay.
Next we got RB versus SB, where SB took home the dub. We got a video for that too. So intern Elena, please.
Yeah, so to set it up, SB is up 3 dragons to 0. RB has position and has Corky package, but it's running out. SB plays this fight so slow. They're up a little bit in gold, but the items are about even. RB gets the dragon. Amumu goes in, but there's no one there to help him, and the ult just kind of, doesn't amount to much. And then Enderism on Gnar cleans up this fight so well. He was playing well all game. I think he was crucial to his team's victory. And this is kind of the moment where even though SB doesn't get the Dragon Soul, they run away with the game.
That they did. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I thought it was super interesting. I don't feel like we usually see slow fights played out well in Bubble Tea League. Maybe that's because I'm bad at them, and so I think that. But I thought SB really put on a good show there.
Yeah, I think that game was streamed by Rito Burrito, right?
Yes, I think that one was.
All right. How did you feel watching that game? Edge of your seat?
Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat that whole game. It was a banger. It was back and forth. Or I felt like there were opportunities for more. Like the game could have gone either way. And I was optimistic about Red Bullies early on, and then it just didn't work out. SB was playing it super well. Yeah.
All right. And then finally, we've got Deep Dive versus GB. We have a clip from this one as well that James can take us away into.
Yeah, setting up. You could see they're getting ready for, I believe, third dragon for DD, and they get zone control in the river first, and you could just see this is why you don't fight Maokai Rumble in a jungle corridor. The Maokai ult comes down, the Rumble ult on top of it. Both mid lane and ADC are immediately eviscerated, and DD just runs away with the fight. I think Nathaniel gets a quad on the Rumble and just gets unlocked by this play. This gets DD second dragon, and they were behind in gold by like 600 or 700 before this play, and then are net up, I think, like 2 to 3K by the end of it. And so it's just like, get to objectives early, get your vision set up, and place your team fight ultimates on top of each other, and you win the game.
Yep, and that's what they've done for 5 weeks in a row now. So like I think betting against Deep Dive probably a pretty difficult proposition. We'll see who does bet against Deep Dive in just a bit when we hit predictions. But next is Dan's stats. We're going to be comparing. Speak of the devil.
Excuse
Deep
me,
Dive.
this is not Dan's stats anymore.
Satan's
Dan's
stats?
is gone.
Oh God,
this is Satan's stats, and same vibe, different name. This time we're taking a peek at the top lane, looking at DD and SB next week. We got Enderism and Avarion going head to head. I think these two are two of the premier kind of weak side top laners, not getting a lot of direct attention in their play, but they're still managing to take over fights and be incredibly impactful, like we talked about earlier with Avarion and his Gnar. They've had some incredibly crucial games for their teams where the rest of the map state is sort of locked, and they're able to come out on top and actually, be that pivotal point to shove it in their favor. And so I think both of these guys are going to be incredibly crucial next week. But I'd like to call attention to my, I'm not sure if Mina or Misa are here listening, but I'd like you both to look at that vision per minute. And both these guys are too used to playing on an island and are not getting exposed enough for it. So junglers, that under 1 vision per minute score, take advantage of that. These they're going to be looking for blood and out for each other's throats, and you might just be able to sneak in there unnoticed. But
hey, that's what supports are for, to provide vision for everyone, right?
And rotate top lane and drop a ward for them.
Yeah,
100%, obviously.
All right, well, we'll see how that goes. I mean, both of those players, as you mentioned, play Gnar and are very impactful on Gnar. Do you think Gnar is going to be a pivotal pick in this game, SB versus Deep Dive?
I think so. because Gnar right now is very, very like meta right now for Bubble Tea, because we just saw it in TSC. Gnar doing fairly well against the Shen, and then being able to at least create enough chaos in the fight for them to pop off and like not have a coordinated RB crunch them down. And with a lot of like weak side top laners, you give yourself a ranged matchup into a melee matchup, so that makes it even more comfortable. So I definitely think Gnar is going to be a contested pick, win or lose for these teams.
All right, you heard it here first. The guy that gets Gnar is going to win the game. All right.
No, I didn't say that, but yeah, all right.
All right, let's move on to predictions. We got a couple of interesting ones here. Let's start from the top. SB versus Deep Dive. We've got one SB predictor. Who is that? Is that Coco?
Yeah, that's me.
Hello, Coco.
Hello.
Why are you on the SB hype train?
So, outside of the fact that I no longer associate for them whatsoever, and the only thing that I have related to them is a victory in the Season 8 championships, I think Second Breakfast does have the Soper deep dive for one critical reason, and that is the power of friendship and children's dreams. I think if Solo is able to get Annie support, he's going to do amazingly well. That champion's absolutely busted, and he'll be able to dominate a lane fairly easily and then win through that victory early and then convert it. And I don't know if Deep Dive is going to have it in them. Yeah, they have a strong jungler, but when you have a flaming bear thrown in your face, Smokey ain't going to let that forest fire get quenched. You're going to just roll over him.
All right. Yeah. I mean, they've won a ton in a row. I think SB, they might have the best team. They might have the best chance in the league of beating Deep Dive, but we'll see how that pans out. I think SB is starting to find their stride a little bit. And they're one of three teams at 3-2. So they are on the upper side of the table. Let's see. As I mentioned before in the interviews, Deep Dive has only played teams with losing records so far. I mean, they're a big reason why those teams have losing records. But we'll see what they do against some of the top half side of the table as they hit AR, SB, and XO soon. Moving on, XO versus MBB. This one's pretty split across the board. It's going to be 4 for XO, 3 for MBB. Adam, you're a Bucks fan, which is pretty cool because it's a pretty good time to be a Bucks fan. You know, all sports included, including BTT or Bubble Tea time, Bubble Tea League. Jesus, where the Bucks actually are on a 1-game win streak after being TSC. Why do you think they have a good chance to take down XO?
I'll tell you, and it's pretty high level thinking. MBB beat our team, and XO lost to our team. So MBB is going to beat XO. Yeah,
math checks out.
All right.
Yeah, I think that they looked better this most recent week. I think that they seem like they're playing together as a team better, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do this week.
Nice. Everybody is, especially Elena, our intern. We'll see how she fares in the game. Let's talk about GB versus PO. It's going to be 4 votes for GB, 2 votes for PO. Poor PO. However, I mean, I'm just going to talk to Walker about this one. Walker, come on. You can't lose to Steven.
Yeah.
Come on,
No.
Steven. Come on, Walker.
This game's going to end with me clapping top lane. And then I'm just going to run to the rest of the map and have like a 4-level advantage because Feels sharing XP, man. And clap everyone else. And that's all there really is to it. Like, I'll just wait for counterpick. We're on red side. It's obviously coming. And I'll get a winning lane and then smash Steven and get this win over GB.
All right. I like the confidence. Coco, voting for GB, though, said...
Oh.
What did Coco say?
I don't. What did I say?
Okay. This has gotten very complicated.
Oh my God.
Very mysterious.
Dude, I told you, broadcaster div. It's just rampant VTT.
God came in
Coco,
and said
if you
no.
hold your arm out, you're still kind of in the Coco spot.
That all worked perfectly good.
Splendid.
All right, wait. So did I say something about Coco thinking that Steven was better than Walker?
You said something about Coco.
Oh, you alluded to something.
Well, okay, I'm gonna pose it to Mr. Sane and Coco now. You guys both voted for GP, therefore you think Steven's a better player than Walker. That's just how it works. Thoughts? Hello?
I think the 4 people behind the corpse of Steven are better than the 4 people that will be behind our boy Burrito. That's the thing. Burrito will be alive. Steven will be dead in this scenario, but it's just those 4 people will 5v4 it. That's how it is.
Do you share that opinion, James, Mr. Satan?
All I know is there's been a lot of talk about subs for PO, and I'm not sure what's even going on that front. Who's playing on that team anymore? So I'm like, it's gonna be GP.
We're barely sure of what's going on with us.
I don't know what's going on anymore, so I'm just going with the team that's got the more consistent players.
All right. THD versus AR is next on our prediction list. It's 2 versus 2, which is pretty cool. I like those even ones.
Who the hell didn't vote? What the
hell?
I
you
didn't.
coward.
No.
How dare they? Well, since it's 2 versus 2, we have Walker here. You're an AR fan. Why is that?
I am.
They just shit talk you. Thoughts?
Yeah, they did. I think AR is gonna lose this game very dramatically.
Classic.
I'd like to abandon all of my prior predictions, and I think these 2 lovely gentlemen right here are gonna get absolutely clapped in this match, and then THD is just gonna run them down.
Oh, okay, that sounds good.
All right, so it's 1 vote for AR. Okay.
And Misa's not even here to defend us.
Adam, does AR even stand a chance? Is this?
Yeah, here, let me give you the reason of why AR is going to win. They're not 15 minutes over. Yeah.
All right. Makes sense. Adam's not here to give details about how they're gonna win. He just knows. It's written in the stars, written in the cards.
I mean, I'm 1-0 on predictions already this week.
Ooh, speaking of 1-0, TSC versus RB then. Clearly this game has already happened a little quicker than anybody really thought it would happen. They finished the when is good at about 2 p.m. today, and we're like, oh, I guess we're playing later today. So here we are. Yeah, I mean, I guess we shouldn't talk about how this game went, considering it's a prediction. We'll have to do that again next week. But how did you think this game was going to go? I guess we'll ask that to to Adam. Let's go to Adam.
Not the way it did. I made my prediction before I realized that they were subbing out Javi for a top sub and sending Plo mid. So I thought that the top matchup was gonna be very difficult for RB to handle. Which still, I mean, Cheshire Ramen did well, but it looks like Plo ended up getting pretty big in the mid. I mean, both mid laners got very large in this game. But I think team comp wise, TSC will be able to win it based on what I think they're gonna pick team comp wise.
All right, I like that. The present and the past tense and the future tense all mixed together. I love it. English.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, predictions are done. We'll see how they pan out for everybody. But next, your favorite segment, the Twitch guest questions, or Twitch questions, whatever. So we've got 3 of them so far. Q from Wormy, I don't know. Who is taking down Deep Dive this season? I think we can extend that, honestly, not just to the regular season, but in the playoffs as well. What are the teams that you guys think have the ability to take down Deep Dive this season? Let's start with Mr. Satan. How about any team that isn't your team?
Any team that isn't my team. I do think it's going to be Second Breakfast. I think shutting down Mina is a critical way of like keeping that team from doing what they want, and she is C champion, kill champion, and that has worked thus far. And I think Misa is a bit more controlling in the jungle and won't just kind of allow her to play the game she wants, and won't necessarily take the 1v1s with her and inevitably lose them. So I think if she doesn't get kind of as fed and ahead as she's used to, it might force a little bit of desperation. And I think if any jungler is going to kind of control that chaos on the map and make something of it, it's probably going to be Misa, and he'll turn that game on its head.
All right. I'm gonna keep doing this because another question is pretty close to this one. With me saying this phrase over and over. So, all right. Next, let's go to Coco. Other than AR, who's taking them down? Deep Dive.
Well, I believe I voted for Second Breakfast to take down Deep Dive, and I will explain myself in a artistic I guess motif or something. We all believe and understand the myth of you do not go swimming 30 minutes after you've eaten. And if I've eaten second breakfast, I think that Deep Dive will not be able to swim and they will get cramps. So that is how second breakfast will win.
Sounds reasonable. I see the logic in it. Adam, you have any different take?
I mean, no, I was going to say AR, SB, which they're playing on back-to-back weeks coming up, so it'll be interesting.
You feeling that way, Mr. Walker?
Yeah, I'd say ARSB. I think towards what Satania was saying about the jungle matchup would be a very pivotal thing for the SB matchup. I also think out of the regular season and heading into playoffs, if they bump into RB will have scaled up as a team and be quite threatening for them.
See about that, but
Let's go, RB.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. We'll get there. Maybe Seraphine Senate wasn't the play. All right. Finally, or not finally, next question. Question from Asian Problems. Why does Brian keep impersonating Matthew McConaughey by saying, all right, all right? My only response to that is you've never seen me and Matthew McConaughey in the same room at the same time, so we might be the same person. Who knows? All right. Question from Landry. I have a question. Where is Mr. Satan's pupper?
Alan, I will go fetch him. You continue the questions. I'll go grab him.
Okay. And then final question from Matt. Question, who is going to play A-Soul first in BTL?
Whatever team schedules week 7 game first.
Oh, perfect. I would like to say I played a game with A-Soul and I went 22-5. That champion's a little broken. So
yeah.
I'll take it. You heard it here. I don't know who. Oh, PO, we're playing PO. You heard me, Walker. I'm taking A-Soul. What are you going to do about it?
Are you blue side?
Uh-oh. Wait a second. Let's talk about this at a later date. All right. And then there's the pupper. Show the pupper cam.
This is Alan. He's a wiener dog. He is very long, as you can see.
He is very long.
The hell?
Very furry. But yes, you can.
Go. Let me do it for you.
Pet cams.
Let me do
pet
it
cams.
for you.
Alina, come here. No, just kidding.
No.
She's gonna beat my ass. All right. Alina goes, Brian. All right. So moving over to the standings. Thank you, Twitch, for all the questions. We've got Deep Dive, Solo Bolo on the top side. They're actually quite far ahead now, 5-0, 2 wins up on anybody else on the board. A clump of 3 and 2 teams, a big ass clump of 2 and 3 teams, and then unfortunately, PO, we don't talk about it. Let's move on. Ooh, next slide. There is no next slide. It was a joke. We're done. We've got a bunch of games on the docket soon this week. I don't even know. They're all over the place.
Wow.
I don't know open up the sheet.
Schedule.
Yeah, schedule. There's the 14th, so tomorrow, the day after GBPO, casted by myself and Vid the Mid. And then THD 2 days after that on a Friday, THD versus AR. XO MBB is yet to be scheduled, but as always, great slate of games. Hope you guys enjoy every game, enjoy every cast, and enjoy every BTT. Thank you, everybody here, for joining me. Any last comments before we sign off?
Pio's going to get a second win.
Ooh, I like that one.
This season?
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, I like that. Thanks to everyone. Goodbye, stream. Thank you, Adam, for joining us as our special guest. Goodbye.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.